We are now joined by Hofstra head coach Mike Farrelly following his team's 89-83 win over UNC Wilmington. Mike, team's fifth straight win. Can you give us thoughts on today's game, please?
Yeah, not our finest defensive effort by any means. Credit to UNC Wilmington. They did a great job. They were attacking. Okoro was terrific. Made a couple of key shots too, man. Ooh, we got our defense together, I thought, a couple of times, and then they made some key shots to keep them in it. Never felt like we got to that separation today. Thankfully, we kept scoring. It was one of those games where we were just able to outscore them. Getting 89, a couple weeks ago when we were struggling offensively, I didn't know if we'd have games like that where we'd be able to get 89. But certainly, 5 guys in double figures. Got a lot of contributions from a lot of people today, which was great. Obviously, without Tariq, so everybody kind of stepping up. And then, just making the plays when you need to, whether it's Caleb Burgess making foul shots at the end, Isaac making his foul shots, getting that stop, Omar getting the deflection on the shot clock violation. We made a couple of huge plays. Kayvon with the block on Okoro when he drove it with a couple of minutes to go. So really, really good job. Some key plays at some key times, to get the victory.
And if you have questions for Mike, please use the raise your hand feature in Zoom. And we'll start with Andrew from WRHU. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Coach Farrelly, this is Andrew Murdillo from WRHU. Your team puts up 50 points in the paint this afternoon. Talk to me just about the way, just the tenacity they played with in the paint today. Yeah,
so obviously a lot of good drives today. Caleb Burgess, especially early, I thought, drove the ball pretty hard and got some good finishes in there. Did a good job playing off 2 feet. Look, they were switching everything, so we were able to take advantage. Had a little bit of a foot speed advantage in a couple of matchups there when they were switching. So did that. Obviously, Isaac's just a monster. Had some good opportunities to score down there, had advantageous matchups as well, and took advantage of that, especially late. Again, kind of gets away from us at times of and look, our DNA has just been, we have great guards, and they can all score. But for the first time, we got a post guy that can really score. So I think, just a little bit of that mindset change and shift to, hey, remember, we got a monster down there who can really score. So we went to a set late where we kind of set like a little single double and kept throwing it into him. He was taking advantage of those opportunities, whether it was drawing fouls or scoring. And then, followed up with Kayvon, just getting tip dunks all over the place and finishing, and the energy and spirit that he plays with, accounting for a lot of those points in the paint. So kind of the 3-headed thing, right? With the great drives, Isaac being a monster, and Kayvon finishing so many plays for us.
Our next question will be from Jordan from Newsday. Go ahead, Jordan.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned in your opening statement that, a couple weeks ago, you didn't know if this offense could get to 85, 89 points. What has changed, and how are you better offensively now than you were maybe, 3 or 4 weeks ago?
I think it's a confidence thing, first and foremost. Look, Kayvon Kramer never made threes in his life, and now he's making them. He didn't make one today, but now he's a threat outside. Caleb played a lot better. We knew he was going to respond from today. Just the way that these guys have improved, I really credit our assistant coaches and the amount of skill work that, we dedicated a lot of time to it. Look, we had a long break. We finished finals the first week of December. And we kind of made a concentrated effort starting there of let's get more shots, let's get more skill work, and get these guys better by the time we go back to school. Now class starts tomorrow. We got to keep maintaining that as we head back to school. But we had a good 7-8 weeks of a lot of work, and I think guys are better and certainly more confident as well. And I think that's really helped our offense grow by a lot.
Our next question will be from Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
With Ryan Genio from WRHU. In terms of the rebounding, once again, just like yesterday's game, you have the edge, but also in offensive rebounds as well as second chance points. Just how important was that to finish off this game today and get the win?
Yeah, important. Look, and Kayvon was a monster. 8 offensive rebounds in a game is absurd. Just the way he goes after that ball. You hear the coach yelling at them, at their guys, box him out. You got to find him, all that stuff. And he still managed a way to get the ball. So he's certainly been great. Now, I'll tell you what, I think they got a couple too many. That one of those stretches, there was like a loose ball. Okoro took the ball from somebody. Kevin and maybe Jalen had a rebound. It got bounced out, and they got a layup. So they got a couple too many. Even Mike Okoro got 4 offensive rebounds. He's a guard. Now, tough kid, athlete, good, excellent player. But, we could have limited a couple of those opportunities and maybe get a little bit more separation. But, it's who we have to be as good as we want to be, crashing the glass and being good on the backboards. Certainly we were that for most of the time against Towson. But we need to be that all the time now. It needs to become who we are.
Our next question will be from Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Mike. What have you learned about this team and your guys since that loss to Delaware, where you seemed that pretty much at a loss for words? The first game in Delaware, now it's 5 in a row, as you noted. What have you learned over the last 2.5 weeks?
Just the way that we approach the games, with the energy that we need to. You certainly look, and it's COVID and everything else that's going on this year, the craziness. You can't take any opportunity for granted of being out there. Like home, away, all these. We're lucky to be playing basketball. We go through a lot to be able to play these games, so you have to cherish and savor these opportunities. And then when you get out there, play like they're special opportunities. Play with the right energy, emotion, effort. And I've referenced it a couple of times, and we didn't necessarily have it. We addressed it that day in between the Delaware games, and we saw it right away. We got up to a 13-0 lead against Delaware, and then we realized, like, this is who we need to be. For us to be really good, that's who we have to become all the time. Can't fade in and out, and that energy's got to be a constant. I think we learned it. You learn. Hopefully, you can learn when you win, right? And we'll learn some stuff off this one, especially defensively. But when you lose, you learn what you need to adjust. I think we learned it that day, and now we've seen who we can be. As we head into February, obviously, Coach Mahalik would always say, you have a good teams that are playing well in February, probably going to be playing well in March. So kind of as we transition into February, we're playing good ball right now, but we got to keep building and certainly maintain the energy and effort that we found.
Our next question will be from Jordan. Go ahead, Jordan.
17-point lead in the first half. What happened defensively that kind of allowed them to get back into this and make this a game the rest of the way?
Transition in their pressure. They turned up their pressure. They were in their zone pressure yesterday and very, very casual about it. Obviously, we get up 25-10, and you're not going to keep doing the same things, right, if you're getting down that way. They needed to find some energy, and Coach Still made a great adjustment, being a lot more aggressive, trapping out of their pressure. We didn't handle it well for a couple of minutes. They got out running in transition, and then that, whatever it was, 8-minute stretch or something like that, they basically had to close the gap there. So they made that adjustment. So certainly credit to them. They did a great job with it. I think we handled it a lot better in the second half, making adjustments. We put Jalen Ray up the court, so we take advantage of some opportunities up here if we could. But we did a better job with it after the first half, but certainly credit to them with their adjustment. It worked really well.
Our next question will be from Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Mike, Trask is a tough place to play, and obviously it's a little different this year without anybody there, but also you're playing 2 games in 24 hours. Did this feel like a classic Hofstra-Wilmington duel these last 2 days, and what's it mean to you guys to get out of there 2-0?
Yeah, it means a lot, to be able to do this without Tariq this weekend, all-league player. I said in there, for us to go 2-0 without an all-league guy. I don't know if he's first team, second team, third team. He's an all-league player. He's, our second leading scorer and obviously a terrific player. So to play without him, for other guys to be able to step up. And again, when you look at it, I said it yesterday in the post game, but the quote-unquote team win. Every win's a team win, right? But 5 guys in double figures. Kevin Schutter was unbelievable again. Probably didn't need that technical after that dunk, but a great play. And he was terrific, so everybody that came in contributed. Omar was good off the bench again today. So just a good job. It means a lot. Whoever the opponent was, we certainly have a ton of respect for these guys. Coach Siddle's doing a great job with his crew. They obviously have a lot of limited numbers, similar to what we've been facing these last couple of weeks. But whatever the circumstance, anytime you can go 2-0 in a conference weekend is great, especially when it's on the road.
And our last question will be from Andrew from WRHU.
Hey, Coach, Andrew Murdillo from WRHU again. So you touched on trying to bring this sort of play into February, 5 straight wins. How do you continue this positivity and this process and these wins into February and through February?
Yeah, so the first thing is we've seen what we can be when we play the right way, when we approach games the right way. So that's got to become a constant. But we got to keep getting better too. If we don't get better in the month of February, we're not going to be ready to win a championship in March. The way that we've grown over the course of this month, and I think if you go back to December too, you think back, the Iona game seems like forever ago, but the growth from there to getting a win at Richmond, 3 weeks later, and then the way that we've grown from a couple of struggles that we had early on to, kind of where we are now. So, it's certainly not over. We've got to keep growing, keep building. If we can keep getting better throughout the course of this month, like we did last month, then I think we'll be in a good position heading into March, but we got to do it. It's an everyday process.
Thank you, Mike. Safe travels home.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.